The fact of the matter is, whether you've been in network marketing for years or just a few days, your family and friends have seen your opportunity and your phone is, as we call it, burnt. If you're anything like me, that's a scary thought. So the big question is, how do entrepreneurs like us, who love the network marketing profession, who no longer want to be that guy, and are tired of convincing people during uncomfortable let's get coffee meetings where they say, what's this all about? How do we market in a way that aligns us with our dream clients and expands our network of upfront and transparent professionals, allowing us to get our time back, our families back, and gain a real passive asset? People like us who value impact over income, we deserve to see our visions once and for all. Join me in this podcast where we'll uncover just how to do that. My name is Eric Sablon. Welcome to Burnt Phone Marketing. What is going on, guys? Eric Sablon here, from one of the coaches from Unlock the Magnetic Lead Machine Facebook group, and I'm super excited. I have a special guest, a super special guest. She's a dear friend of mine, but I'm going to start it off like I always do, guys. Do me a favor, hashtag live if you're coming in live, and we want the interaction and the questions, because when I tell you who she is and what she does and the things that she's done to help other people, you'll be amazed. Hashtag replay if you're on the replay. So I'm going to actually do a quick introduction. So Jenn is an award-winning sales and marketing professional with over 20 years of experience. She has a master's certificate in online and social media from the University of San Francisco. She's the co-founder of the Women Entrepreneurs of Alaska. She's contributed to a couple of books. Jenn was the first Alaskan to be to have an inbound marketing certificate, and was elected as Marketer of the Year by the Alaska chapter. Guys, hello, we've got a superstar in the house. She specializes in inbound marketing, social media, and marketing strategies. Please welcome Jenn Christensen, the co-owner of Beacon Media in Anchorage, Alaska, to the show. Jenn, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. I was just telling you that I still wanted to do this, even though I actually flew a couple days ago, which was such a weird experience. But I would not miss this. I love what you're doing here. I love this group you started, that like there's so much momentum, you can feel it. You're providing great value. So I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Well, thank you. Thank you for taking the time. And I know you flew all the way across the United States with a mask on to drop your amazing daughter off at college. So, guys, that's one of the
Cool.
things. I mean, think about it. That's one of the things that you can do if you own your own business and you're a true entrepreneur. So I actually just want to kind of start off with having the audience know who you are. I mean, you're part of the group. You've been in the group. You've seen. You've helped me. You've done things so much to help me as a marketer, as an entrepreneur. But just a little bit about your story and basically your online journey, the last like 5 or 6 years. What has it been like? Because I know you've blossomed into something amazing up here in Alaska.
Yeah, thank you so much. Um, so I guess I'll just go back to, I feel like I kind of have an auspicious start into the marketing world. I think that's why you and I relate so much, because I had a really strong sales background, sales management. I've always been really passionate about helping people, but I also love numbers, right? I love that achievement, hitting those goals, um, just making sure that I'm doing it in a way that really does help people. And I didn't really like marketing. I was working with marketing a lot in my previous careers, but I guess I always saw marketing as something that you couldn't necessarily track very well. I really didn't see, how it was relevant to. I just felt like the sales was doing the bulk of the work, right? The salespeople were out there every day making the numbers happen, and the marketing was almost just kind of like auxiliary. And that really changed for me 10 years ago. So before founding Beacon, being part of a online news site organization, and seeing that marketing and sales were starting to merge, that what was happening online is that people weren't wanting to talk to salespeople right up front anymore. They were wanting to research, get their own information. Online was making everything accessible. And what I fell in love with is basically being able to track and see what people were doing and how they were responding, and recognizing that I could take those sales skills and use them in the marketing field, to really, basically do what I call almost like pre-selling before they ever get to you. And you have, I feel like you've really got a key of that right now with this conversational marketing. Um, that is absolutely the direction that we've gone for ourselves, for our largest clients, that we are creating our own chat box and doing conversational marketing, because what you're really doing is you're providing the information that they need at their time and their way. Everything that they would look for when they want to talk to a salesperson, but you're giving it to them up front. So as far as my journey goes over the last 8 years, as I think everybody knows, marketing has changed dramatically. Like I said, marketing and sales have really merged together to be almost one thing. And
Mhm.
if you're doing it right, if you're working together, marketing has also come into the field of customer service, has come into the field of user experience. I mean, it's just blowing my mind. Adrian and I have a thing that we say as we've grown this business, not just in Alaska, but nationally now. Is there ever going to be a week that goes by since we started this business that things don't change? And the answer is no.
No.
Whether it's Facebook's algorithm changes this week, or Google has a new update, or the way that clients respond to marketing is changing constantly. So I love it. I love learning. I love adapting. I love helping people. So it's a perfect spot for me.
Yes, it is, and your clients are loving it. Your clients are really like seeing. We're seeing a lot of your clients doing really really well, and I like what you said about because in this group I'm the chatbot guy, so I'm the one that kind of does a lot of the chatbot. I build a lot of
Yeah.
the chat stuff, and I've noted I like what you said, conversational marketing. Can you kind of elaborate on what you've kind of some of the techniques that you've done with conversational marketing? Because I like what you said. You talked about it's not just outbound. And we had somebody on the show, Anna, a while back, and she actually builds chatbots, but she talked about how it, it's two-way communication. It's conversational. You put the tag on it. I'm going to use that tag. Thank you.
You should.
So
Yeah, you should. So we have, I mean, I know you guys have your platform. We have chosen for a couple of reasons to use Drift and HubSpot and a couple others, but there's a lot of really good ones out there. I think you guys use ManyChat.
mhm.
Uh, and what it really is about being intuitive and thinking through, really being empathetic and thinking through, what information is this person looking for? How can I make it as easy for them as possible? So any good salesperson knows that it's, understanding what those pain points are, overcoming those objections, but even taking it beyond that. If you set up your chat box and your connection to the person when they come to your website, like if you go to our website, you'll see it right on there now. Um, we have it set up, and we've been testing it back and forth to see how they react to different conversations, so we can keep making it better and better of how we have a conversation with somebody. So if somebody comes, I think we have something right now which is like, you're looking for an agency to partner with you to help your company, and then we have like a heck yeah, section, and then we have a nope, I'm just browsing, easy out. Because we do want to give people an easy out. If we don't want them to feel like they're overwhelmed, right? As any good salesperson knows, you don't push people, you let them be in control, but you guide them.
Mm.
And so it's just trial and error and figuring out, how they respond to what. A couple of the things that we've been doing that I think are pretty cutting edge in this world, this conversational marketing world, is that because the technology has advanced so much, um, we're actually able to track. Let's say somebody comes to I'll just give you an example. This just happened actually. We had a huge sale, like over $100,000 a year. They came in through our mental health marketing landing page, and we knew who they were because we had their IP address. So we were
Mhm.
actually to call them by name, like, hey, thank you, so and so, for visiting our mental health marketing page. We see that you're interested in these things. Are you interested in looking at our case studies in mental health? Are you interested in seeing how we helped other people? Would you like to see some reviews of how we help mental health companies? Are you just browsing? So they came back 3 times, and each time we were able to have a different message for them,
Mm.
just like we're having a conversation, right? And because of that, the sales time, usually to close a sale like that, might be, a month, because it's a very large sale or a very large plan they're looking at. And this took us less than a week, because we
Wow.
had already answered those questions up front. We already knew the types of things that they were looking for. And then we took them through the pathways of providing the information that they needed. I don't think everything can be automated. We also have live chat that'll
Mm.
come on when people ask for that. I think that's really important. Um, but this tool is phenomenal. So I think what you're doing, you're really on a really good path, Eric, like where you guys are going. And it's just continuing. What I love about what I've seen you guys do is that you're just continuing to get better and better.
Mm.
And that's my belief about marketing right now, is you have to just go in and just do it, and then just respond as people respond to you. What are they interested in? What are they telling you? How do you just keep making it better? Nothing can be static anymore.
Yeah, we actually had a master class this morning in Marlow. She's actually one of our awesome students. She's just inviting tons and tons of people to the group, but she's using a mini chat, and she literally we walked through it. We did the analytics. We literally did the analytics on where people were getting stuck. We made
Right.
adjustments, changed names, changed things, and I think two more people came to her bot today just going through it. And that's what you got to do. You just got to on the fly, literally be able to change that. And like you said, what's the every single day something's changing. So I mean that's what we're doing. And with a lot of our mini chats, we give them to you and you upload them into your account, but then you got to monitor them. It's a flowing document. It's a flowing chat that you
Absolutely.
really need to, like, conversational marketing. I'm gonna just borrow that one forever.
Yeah.
Conversational marketing.
And,
That's
and think about how much you learned from, I mean, again, taking it back to sales, think about how much you've learned over the years. Like, you start seeing trends with your customers, right?
Mhm.
Like, you've helped enough people that you've gotten the same objections. Even before they probably say it, you're like, yep, I already know what they're going to say. I already have this. And so you just start to learn that. And what used to take, focus groups and all these other things, where honestly people weren't probably telling us the whole truth anyway, you're actually being able to change what you're doing and saying based on real time. Like,
Mhm.
the world we live in now is amazing. So,
and and I like that real time because you can see what they're going through, you can see what they're doing, you can make your adjustments, you can hop in like really quick, like with
yeah,
you can just hop in and say, hey, what's going on? There's one thing that our CEO does is he literally says, hey, I just wanted to let you know that this is David. There's somebody real behind this bot.
right.
And people are like, wow, there's somebody real that's behind this. Okay, cool. So they'll interact with it. And one thing that I've noticed is people will interact on a bot, and literally, like, because they're kind of behind the screen, they can ask the questions, they can kind of do the things that they want to know. Like, they'll click on this and then they'll click back and go to this, and they'll click back and go to this. And if your mini chat or your chat sequence is set up correctly, you could see everywhere they went,
Yeah.
and you can give them different options. Like you said, you can literally put them on another flow and send them down a different. If they want to see testimonials, boom, send them a testimonials page. If they want to see this, send them this page. If they want to see this, send them that. And a lot of that is all automated once you get in there, and you can click the button to send it where it needs to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so part of it is you can even use your bot, depending on where you're at in your business, you can even use your bot to, to basically get information from them. Is your product or is your service priced right? Or is it, are you offering the right thing? Don't be afraid to ask tough questions, because people will answer more honestly when they don't feel like they have to talk to you, or they're kind of feel like they're talking to a bot versus a person. So, I would just say, again, I think you guys are on the right track. And there is a lot of trial and error and there is a lot of problem solving. And I think it's important that people know, even agencies like us, we're going through the same thing. We might have more resources and, kind of know what the trends are a little bit better. But we're all going to go through the same process of seeing how
Mhm.
people respond and then changing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's super cool. So I did do a couple of questions. I pulled a couple of questions.
Yeah. Go
Um,
for it.
so I'm gonna see if there anybody has any questions on this live stream. So I'm gonna put any questions.
Nice.
And I know that their live stream is a little slow behind what we're doing. So I'm actually going to ask you this: what is $1 million skill that you've honed in as an entrepreneur, and you think that is essential to success?
Okay, so I'm going to answer this differently than I would have answered this a couple days ago, actually, because um, there's a lot of skills, right, that are really amazing skills to have. I mean, you can say understanding user experience, so being like a UX designer, understanding how people interact with with clients' sites, with their marketing and all of that. Those are pretty phenomenal skills. But I'm going to actually say this. I just read an article yesterday, Harvard Business Review, and it was one of the most compelling articles I've read about where we're going in the future. And it's so different than anything I've read about this, but it's exactly what I believe to be true. And they were talking about how the future is really for the generalists. So we've
Mm-hmm.
heard for 30, 40 years, the future is for specialists, right? And there's real truth in that because you do have to have specialty in these different areas to know what you're doing. But the people that actually, because things are changing so rapidly in technology and changing so rapidly in our society, the way we interact, the way we do business, the way we communicate with each other. I mean, COVID has rapidly changed that even faster,
Mm-hmm.
right? People who know how to problem solve, people who are not afraid to persevere and get to the answer and strategize and problem solve on the biggest level, I think that is the number one skill as a entrepreneur. So, I mean, we can talk character, we can talk those things too, because I think if you can have the skill and if you don't have the character, it's not going to work. But if you are a great problem solver and that does not scare you, and you're willing to just keep going in and keep trying until you find the thing that works, that to me is the number one skill, um, especially now and moving forward that we need because you can hire people that are experts,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can
Oh,
hire, like, I mean, I have a whole team right now that knows so much more than I do. If you want to talk to me about Facebook ads, I can give you the top 10%, but Sarah and Tommy and that team can just, man, they can just rock it and give you all the detail of why they're doing what they're doing and what's working. Same with Google ads, same with website, same with SEO. I can't be the expert at all of that, but if I'm a great problem solver and I'm not afraid to keep going until I find the answers. One, I will find the right people, right?
mm.
I'll find the right people that are specialists. I'll attract them to me. And I'll understand the bigger picture of where we're going. So I think that's it. Answer.
That is a great answer. And there's some chats going in, and I like what they said. So I want to bring that actual question, that answer, and that mindset right back to MLM and network marketing.
Yeah,
Did you hear what she said? She said she wants to know 10% of the business, 10 to 20% of the business, and then she wants to put people in the right seats. She,
absolutely.
she wants to get the right people on the bus and then put them in the right seats. So, as a network marketer, I want you guys to think about that. If you don't, everyone says, if you don't have time, hire somebody with time. If you don't understand SEO, hire somebody that has it. Recruit somebody that understands SEO and let
Absolutely.
them be a part of the team. And that's one of the things that we bring inside this group is we try to connect people with people that are stronger in different skills. Like building a team is phenomenal, but you'll be able to leverage the resources in this group. So guys, just think about that. Like you heard it from someone that's doing massive, massive, massive marketing. and strategy and sales, and she still looks at it from 30,000 feet and puts the right people in the right spots on the bus. So just think about that when you're building your business, when you're building any business. You know, the entrepreneur, we want to do everything by ourselves, and the minute you leverage people and find the who, not the how, your business and your life, because you're empowering people. As you empower people, more people start to look at you as a leader because you've given them something, you've given them a responsibility that they kind of own. And when they own something, they really, really bring it all together. And, you know, my dad, I'm just going to shoot this out. My dad always said, growing up, he said this, he goes, I'm not looking for problems, I'm looking for solutions.
Yeah, I love that.
I live by that. He would tell me that every single time. I'm not looking for problems. I'm looking for solutions. And that's thank you, because that kind of brings everything full circle. The bigger the problems you solve, the bigger your paycheck. Just remember that. The bigger the problems you solve, the bigger your paycheck.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Is there anyone in here that's got some questions? Not yet. So, I'm going to go right back into my other one that I said, if you were starting your business today, what would the first week look like in your business?
Wow. Wow. Okay.
So let me preface this. You already have your location, you already have the place, you already have you have the bones of the business. What's the first week look like outbound?
Got it. Do I have money at this point or no money?
You have some investment capital.
Okay. Uh, First thing that I would do would be to spend time in journal, meditation, self-awareness. This is what I do now. It's my habit. And really focus on the why, the goal. Like what am I doing? Where do I want to go? It really doesn't matter where you're starting, right? You have to know what not that it's not going to change all the time, because of course there is changes, but why am I doing this? Why does this matter? Where am I trying to get to? Who am I trying to help? And so I would really spend some serious time in that first before I did anything. So I'm really grounded. And then I would call people that I trust. So I would immediately call people I trust and say, hey, this is what I'm thinking. This is the business that I'm starting. Um, from your perspective, how can my business help somebody like you? So once I determined where I was going to go, then I would reach out to people that I trust and respect and say, hey, can I have 20, 30 minutes of your time? If you were going to hire a marketing agency, what are you looking for? What are the things I should stay away from because they've been pain points for you for marketing companies in the past? And once I felt like I had a good picture of that information, I'd probably study other agencies and look at what are their negative reviews? What are people saying that they don't like about them? Can I fulfill that pain point? Can I offer something different that other people aren't offering out there? So I spend my first probably day in like kind of heavy research mode and really getting like a good, wise, solid path. And then once I felt like I had a good sense of where I was going, man, I'd start with trying to bring in business, because like without sales and without business and without my first customer, you don't have a business. So that would be my next thing, is like, okay, well, I need to, obviously I would assume that I had the skill set that I do now, that knew I could do something of value. And so if I had to, I'd offer stuff for free. To start getting, I know how important social proof is. So I'd start with people that I knew I could provide a quick win for.
Mm.
And I'd start, offering services. What can I do to help you? Chances are, from that first phone call that I made of telling people, hey, I'm doing this, how can I help you? Chances are something would have come out of that anyway, because
Yes.
that is how a lot of business happens. And then I would just kick butt on my website and SEO, because I know that inbound traffic and people coming to you for services is such an easier way to do business than always outbound.
Right.
Does that make
So
sense?
that makes a ton of sense. So what we're doing and we're teaching in our next level of training is we have something called an avatar interview sheet, and it's identical to what you're talking about. So there we actually have like 7 questions that we give our students that basically helps them reach out to people that are possible clients but
Yeah,
are experts in that field. And then, like you said, something always happens afterwards. Like
absolutely.
they know who you are, they know what you're doing, and then one of the things that we say is that, hey, um, the exact same, I'm building something that solves the exact same problems that you were talking about. When I'm done, are you open to check it out?
Yeah, perfect.
So
Perfect.
that's what we're teaching in the next level. So in the next level of what we have in our program is we have an avatar, basically an avatar interview sheet that we'll be dropping. So if you guys ever want the avatar interview sheet, hashtag avatar, and we will maybe give you a couple of the questions. But in order to get the whole sheet, you have to be a student. So
And that's brilliant that you guys are doing that because when I hear that, what I think about is, MLM can have a bad name, and I know people even going into it can feel like, oh man, I don't want to be that person or any of that stuff. But the point is, that, like, this has you're solving a problem, and so if somebody calls me and they're like, hey, can I ask you a couple questions, and they're sincere and they really are looking for feedback, and then they ended up with that statement of, hey, I think I have something that might even solve what you're talking about. We've just established a relationship. This is now quote unquote conversational marketing, right? This is not a sales call in which I have my objections up and I feel like I'm just immediately going to say no. This is, we're having a conversation, we're helping each other as human beings, and so I love that you're doing that. I think that's great.
Well, we learned it from another one of our coaches, but yeah, that's definitely something that we're doing, and there's people clicking avatar, 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 so this is perfect.
Yes, this.
So you said something about working SEO, and in this group, we don't actually do like the SEO. We do more of Facebook organic marketing,
Okay.
and it's more designed for MLMers and affiliate marketers. What would you say? Because we do a lot of posting and we do a lot of connecting with a lot of the people that are
Yeah.
our right audience. So we always teach this. We teach you only have 5,000 seats in your stadium because Facebook only allows you to have 5,000 friends.
Right.
So they should either be family and friends that are positive because you want your Facebook page to be positive.
Right.
Um, raving super fans, so anyone that's going to like or comment on your stuff, and then possible clients and prospects.
Yeah.
So on the SEO side, you do a lot of like targeting words. How could our students like take like a little bit of the SEO hat and put it in the Facebook algorithm hat? Do you have an idea or a solution or something that you've done that will get the interaction that our students are looking for?
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, SEO is totally different because it's based on search and it's based on Google, not Facebook. And so, but let's talk about the mindset of SEO. So the reason it's so effective is that what you're doing is you're making your website or your presence show up where people are searching.
Mhm.
So if somebody is searching for, I'll just use the mental health marketing again. If somebody is searching for that nationally, like we come up like number one, I think number two or number one, right in that spot. But it's not just about coming up number one or two. Then it's about having relevant information. So when they click on our page, it didn't just take them to like a basic page. It took them to our page, which all talks about mental health marketing, right? And then not just that, but then we have a chatbot on the page that addresses, again, how can we help you in mental health marketing? We know you're looking at this page. So if you think about that mindset, and I think you could take your Facebook algorithm to a higher level. I think everything you said is spot on. It's really good. but let's just be real. If somebody friends me, um, and I don't really know them, and then I see on their profile that they are selling something or whatever, I pretty much know what they're doing. I know that they're connecting with me for that reason. So what I would think about is when you really know who your core people are that you're helping and that you're connecting with. Let's say you find out, just for example, that health coaches are somebody that you've helped a lot or you connected with this product. I don't know. I'm just using that as an example. Then I would start searching out other people in that industry, search them out on Google, find them. When you connect with them on Facebook, let them know that, hey, I've been working with a lot of people in your industry. I just want to connect so that I get more feedback back on what I'm doing. It might be helpful for you, not trying to sell you anything, just so a little bit more of when you make it so general, it's hard for people to connect. But when it's something that helps them personally, it's much more effective. So it's taking a little bit of that SEO mindset and putting it into Facebook. It's not always about quantity, it's about quality.
That's gold, and we teach that. We teach, make sure that your Facebook page is optimized. So when people come to your page, they either can get some value, and a lot of times we always set it up so there's some sort of a chatbot delivery system for something for free.
Yeah.
A lot of our people use Facebook engagement cheat sheets. A lot of our people use the Facebook group, like, hey, join my free Facebook group. We This is what we do. They do different things. They provide value up front, and then they kind of organically build into
Love
them.
that.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that's so we are kind of teaching a little bit of SEO type
Yeah.
action
Yeah.
in that. So okay,
No, that's
perfect.
you guys are totally on track. I mean, the only thing that I would add to that is just if you can be more targeted, if you can be more niche, then I, I mean, I've seen just not just anecdotally, but actually by the numbers, the clients of ours that are more niche are much more successful with less dollars spent.
Okay.
So, I mean, if I see if I'm really into nutrition and I see somebody connects with me and I see that they're also into nutrition, even if they're selling something or even if they're a part of that, I'm still much more likely to connect with them because we have a common interest.
Okay.
So I'm not saying you can always do that, but if you can, then go for it.
Well, we have some really cool tactics and ways that we use Facebook groups and stuff like that where we can find our avatar.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's one of the things that we actually did. And guys, if you haven't done the avatar training, make sure you jump onto the avatar training. Drop define your avatar inside the chat, and I will send you guys the free avatar training. The free avatar training, which basically will define who you're really looking for and who you really want to talk to.
Love
Uh,
that.
so I'm still looking. Um, I like um, my business partner and one of the coaches. He says, "I hope MLMers are listening. How traditional marketers think."
Nice.
Question. Oh, there's a question here. Uh, nope, that was already that. So I am going to go right into. Do you have anything like if one of the marketers or anyone that has a traditional business was wanted to check you out? I'll actually put your the Beacon Media page in there because they may want to look for some SEO type things. Do you have any like? And I'm gonna put you on the spot. Do you have any like free giveaways or anything like that that they can link to that we can put in there? That like Jenn gave away the event checklist. So I mean, do you
Yeah.
have anything that you have that's already done that you don't have to rebuild or anything like that?
Yeah.
That
No, I'd be happy to. We have a really good white paper that addresses definitely everything that you're talking about as far as like finding your perfect target and how to be a classy marketer. So how to be a good have a good conversation and not and not turn people away. So I will definitely send you the link and you're free to share it with the group. I think it would complement probably what you're doing on the avatar stuff.
All right. All right. Hashtag classy if you want that, because we're going to be classy marketers.
Guys,
Hashtag classy. And, you know, the last thing that I want to ask you is um, because you're in the marketing space and because you have such a background in sales, what would you say the difference between sales and marketing is?
today.
Yeah, today.
Yeah, wow. So there's at least in my mind like a 75% crossover between the two. Because as we know now, 92% of the sales process starts before they ever talk to somebody. So where that used to be like 30% even 10 years ago, I mean, it's a huge difference. So um, if you're not out there, if you're not putting your information out there, everything that you're talking about, like on your Facebook page, all those things, all that stuff is basically your sales process, right? But here's where they differ. So I would say the differentiation would be, the salesperson is really that final call to action and qualifier and discovery and really the nitty gritty and seeing if the two people are a good fit or the two organizations or whatever it is. So it, it's that personalized piece of everything that we can't get kind of online now. And that sales process at that point, there's a lot of techniques. I know you know them too. Once you get through that whole marketing sales kind of connection back and forth, where the salesperson's job is really to take all of the information that they've been given um, and really define clearly for the person expectations, going deeper into the questions and discovery, and then ultimately the call to action and the close. Sometimes, and I'm sure you guys have found this too, that because there's so much crossover, the sale happens way earlier
Hmm.
before they ever even talk to somebody. I mean, that's your whole premise, right? Is that you're selling before you ever talk to somebody. So at that point, the salesperson's job is to really reinforce, to make sure that what's delivered and the experience and the brand and everything actually matches the marketing. Because if there's a disconnect between the process and then what's actually delivered, you've got a bigger problem. Like now it's like you just wasted money because you're going to get a negative review or something negative is going to happen. On the marketing side, the piece that the salespeople, really is differentiation there is really the data and understanding the target markets and understanding people and collecting the data and using it in a way um, that helps you connect your product to the right people. So, and then there's like design and stuff like that in there too, of course, right?
Of
But
course, there's design.
yeah, but that's all like I kind of put that all with marketing and sales together because I mean, I remember back in the like late 80s when I first started, 89, 90, the big thing was like dress for success and the impression that you give as a salesperson and like the professionalism. And if you think about that, all that now is like a website and your Facebook page and your brand online and all, it's the same thing. It's just moved into the online space and become part of your marketing. Um, so design and all that stuff matters, impression matters, your brand matters, of course that stuff matters, but it kind of is all connected to sales now.
Yeah, it is. And that's one thing that I want to share with everyone in the group that um, clean up your Facebook page because we're marketers and every one of us, like Fabian says all the time in all of our master classes, people are trolling on your Facebook page. They're looking for you. They're lurking. They're
Absolutely.
double checking that you're the person that you really say you are. So that's one thing that I definitely say is clean it up because your brand is your brand is your brand. And you just got to understand that. It doesn't matter if you're selling soaps, potions, lotions, service, anything. Like, make sure your brand is authentic. Make sure your brand is dialed in. And make sure, I'm not saying go out and spend a bunch of money on a logo and stuff like that, but just make sure that what you can take care of on your Facebook page dialed in correctly.
Yeah, and your Instagram and your other sites.
Social
We just
media.
had Yeah, we just got an awesome testimony. This guy out of Austin, Texas, he's a realtor, and they have a new housing complex down there. He's selling houses for, and so he came to us to do, a bot, a landing page, and Facebook marketing, and anyway, we got started, and then we called him back and said, hey. We're not going to be able to do this unless you clean up your Facebook page and your Instagram because there is, photo after photo after photo of college partying. And it's not that it's bad, there's nothing wrong with that, but like that doesn't match at all the demographic of the people that he was going after, for
Hmm.
that he's going to be interacting with for selling these homes. These are starter families, people that, just having their first child, it's their first home, really nice neighborhood, all this stuff. And we started a month ago, and he has sold 6 houses, and he's the number one agent now in that area. And he kind of fought us on chain, but he did not get his first sale until he had that completely blocked off there.
Wow.
I
There you
really
go.
believe in that. Really think about that. Yeah, and also be aware. This just happened the other day. Be aware when you are posting in groups that are open that everyone can see that. So
Right.
I don't think a lot of people realize that because I've seen some people post some pretty crazy stuff. I think thinking that it's private, um, and I'm not saying don't be yourself. Like just be self aware of what that means. So
Right.
are you comfortable with that being a reflection of how people see you?
Right. If you're gonna post it, if you're gonna post it, just think about you're posting it on your Facebook page also. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
just
right.
because it's inside a group doesn't mean you're hiding, if it's an
They're
open
not.
group.
They're
Yeah.
not. Yeah. So I mean, and I personally believe you should authentically be yourself because people also can tell when you're just kind of not being real. So I post some stuff that's pretty personal to my faith and things like that, and that might turn people off. But I feel like, well, that is who I am. So they're gonna get to know me if they do
Right.
business with me. So it's just better for me to be honest.
Right.
Yeah.
And you'll attract the right people.
Yeah.
You'll attract
Absolutely.
the right circle of influence and the right vibe and all of that stuff. And you know,
Yeah.
if they don't, you're in an agency, so it's awesome. If they don't want to deal with you, they can deal with someone else in the agency, which is
That's right.
totally fine. So
Yeah.
Marlo did have a question. She did
Okay.
question, um, as you look into the business of 2020, heading into the last quarter, what do you think? What are you thinking about to set yourself up to grow and scale in 2021?
Yeah. Okay. Good question. So we took a really aggressive approach when everything started shutting down, just recognizing that um, what we were already doing and offering, and everything being online in our company, that we could help a lot of businesses. So we already kind of started our plan back in March, where we decided to take a really aggressive market share approach to getting more business, and really helping as many small businesses in America as we can. So overall, our strategy was we could either pull way back or we could just go for it. And we started putting out a lot of free content about how to, work on Zoom, remote working, how to sell online, e-commerce, chatbots. I mean, trying to help people as much as we can, whether it was DIY or if they could afford an agency. So that was part of our overall strategy. As I go into fourth quarter now, my focus is honing in. So really being clear about the niches and the people that we are serving well. Who are we helping the most? Who are we making the biggest difference for? Um, not not ignoring reality. Like tourism is one of our main areas, but obviously that one has not done super well, understandably. um, but also aligning ourselves, so we have a lot more partnerships now than we've ever had before. So we've aligned ourselves with other businesses that are thinking like we are, that are taking that more aggressive stance on growing. And that's what I would do for the rest of 2020. I don't know where you are, what type of business you have, but I would say educate yourself on as much as you possibly can on your niche or where you're really trying to focus. align yourself with other people that are thinking positive and thinking forward, that are not trying to return us to the past that we're never returning to. It's not going back.
Right.
Um, and set yourself up to be somebody that people trust, that they can count on, that has been steady and positive during this whole time. So for me, that's like self work. That's working on myself. That's like what I talked about: journaling, meditating, taking care of myself. Um, if you don't have yourself right, then how can other people count on you? So, on a personal level, that on a business level, alignment with the right people, learning and growing, and finding, preparing yourself to actually be able to offer significant value going into 2021.
Wow. So I wrote down educate, align, and trust. So Marlo, educate, align, and trust. The acronym is EAT. So
I love
EAT.
it. I'm going to use that. I'm going to totally use that.
Well, it looks like we're at the, we went on for about 45 minutes, which is awesome. And
Perfect.
I will, guys, if you want that white paper, I'll get that for you. It'll be delivered in a bot, and you guys know it will be. Um,
Right?
so if you guys have any questions for me or for Jen, just kind of reach out to us on the chat. I'll be monitoring the chat for the rest of the day, probably tomorrow and the next day. And guys, we are here to provide value for you. We are here to bring the not just the MLM and affiliate marketing space, but as you can tell, we're bringing in real, marketing agency professionals and people that have done that. People that have done huge things with huge brick and mortar companies. So that's my goal for this group, is to help everybody provide value, educate, align, and trust. I mean, boom, we've got it. So we're gonna eat. So Jen, thank you for coming on. Is there anything last thing you got to say to the audience?
No, I think, anybody who's choosing to be a part of this group is already aligning with, I mean, I know who you are, Eric. I know your character. I know what you offer. So I think anybody who's a part of it, you're aligning with the right people. Just keep that problem solving down. Keep doing it.
Thank you, thank you. We will see you guys tomorrow. Armand Anderson will be on the show, and he is going to talk about. He's got a 10,000 over 10,000 person downline, and he's going to talk about keeping leadership, keeping focus, and keeping it fun. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Are you tired of those lame Facebook groups that provide no value? Well, our Facebook group is awesome. Go to unlockthefbgroup.com and get access to our Facebook group, where you will be able to find interviews of top network marketers and Q&As where you can jump in and talk to them live. We also have massive training. We provide a bunch of free tools. So jump into that group. Again, that's unlockthefbgroup.com. We'll ask you a few questions in mini chat, because that's what we do, and make sure that you're not a spammer and get you into the group right away. So again, go to unlockthefbgroup.com and don't be a spammer.